With 3 seasons and an Adam Eve spinoff, the animated series has gained a huge following and introduced us to some of the most interesting and fun characters, some more than others. But which Invincible characters are the best and which ones are the worst? So today, I'm ranking all the Invincible characters in this tier list, and this list will only include characters that have made an appearance in the show. So characters like Dinosaurus or Thrag's beautiful hairline will not be included into this list. So let's begin. Now let's start the ranking with Alan the Alien. I really like this adaptation from the comics. They kept the design pretty much the exact same, and Seth Rogen's voice just fits this character so damn well. He goes through a pretty huge transformation throughout the seasons, from being an agent of the Coalition of Planets and appearing in season 1 trying to find Urath, then gets absolutely destroyed and offed by some Viltrumites, which actually hit harder than I thought, because he was becoming one of my favorite characters in the entire show. But when Thetis cuts off Alan's life support, his body naturally recovered and grew stronger, becoming this monster that's able to go toe-to-toe with Viltrumites now. This transformation made for some pretty epic moments like toying with Immortal or tag teaming with Omni-Man to defeat Viltrumites and holding his own. Not only is this character OP, he's just an enjoyable character to watch. He has good morals and tries to save people. His dry humor is funny and makes me want to see more of this character in future seasons. So I'm putting Alan into S tier. Next we have Duplicate. Now this character just boils my blood every time I see her on my TV. Let's list some reasons why she's just a terrible character. She's very uncaring, as seen in season 1 when she participates in Rex cheating on her, when he's in a clear relationship with Adam Eve, who she is friends with and a part of a team with. She showed no remorse or justification afterwards as well. She always seems to have this tone with an attitude like she's better than everyone else, and after her presumed death, I was shocked but a little happy I didn't have to see her anymore. But she comes back after everyone thinks she's dead, and maybe it's time for a redemption arc. But nope, she comes back and is dismissive of the trauma her teammates endured, and even shows some sarcasm, letting us know she has little concern of what she puts others through. Her character design is weak, she's so annoying, and how did she even get a Fortnite skin? No one likes her. I'm putting Duplicate into D tier. Next up, we have Kid Omni-Man, and he is a character that I am completely down the middle with. He pretty much did not exist up until season 3 besides being a baby in season 2. Now his introduction completely shocked me knowing that Omni-Man got down and dirty with a bug to create him. But anyways, this character you can only really judge from season 3, and to me he is pretty annoying but very interesting. I don't really like how he's impulsive and reckless. So many times does his brother tell him he's not ready or strong enough to fight, but he still rushes into battles, such as thinking he could help Invincible fight off Conquest, and never listens and winds up getting hurt. What I do love about this character is how dark he is though. He really tests Invincible's morality, showing him these villains need to be put down permanently and the benefit of doing so. Seeing him and the Mauler twins very violently was an insane scene especially, but Kid Omni-Man doesn't have enough screen time to tell if I love or hate him, but all I know is his design looks pretty goofy, so I'm putting him into B tier. Next up we have Cecil. I love this character and I think he has a very important role in this show. I like how he's willing to do anything to any measure to protect people, but I don't completely agree with how far he's willing to go, which is the main reason in season 3 everyone is split between Team Invincible and Team Cecil. Up until season 3, I really just thought of him as a sketchy government official that doesn't really do much, but he did have some pretty great moments like going up against Omni-Man. He's very strategic and intelligent, but does some questionable things that can be seen as evil or good. He manipulates Invincible and creates contingency plans, covers dark secrets such as the Reaniman, and makes the calls no one else wants to make. I kind of do agree with Cecil at times, but it's very hit or miss. Even when I do disagree with his decisions, that's what makes this character unpredictable and fun to watch, and walks in between hero and manipulative bastard. He's someone who balances humanity's survival against morality. I'm putting him into S tier. Now we have Conquest. Now holy crap does this character make the most of the screen time they have. Appearing in the final episode of season 3, after Invincible deals with the struggle of the Invincible War, Conquest just shows up. I honestly love characters that don't have a sob story to justify what's being done, but not for this guy. Conquest just wanted to have fun and play with his food just because he simply enjoys it. He's not a mastermind, he's not morally conflicted, he doesn't want redemption, he just loves fighting. Even when injured, he grins through the pain because the challenge excites him. His design is pretty sleek too, but that gauntlet and that scar on his face makes him so much more unique. What's insane is how he also looks very old with wrinkles and gray hair, but the contrast between appearance and power makes him even more scary. Every line dropped out of this man's mouth felt like a quote and gave me a Thanos feeling. He's pretty damn powerful too, being able to toy with Invincible for a bit and defeating Adam Eve. Conquest just has aura, and when he appears on screen, you know that things are about to get ugly. Now Conquest could get S tier, but aside from the violence and destruction, there's not really much left, especially with the minimal screen time. I'm putting Conquest into A tier. Up next, we got Adam Eve, arguably the strongest character in the show if she didn't have those mental blockers and use her powers to the full potential. Now Adam Eve has always been an important character in the show, from season 1 all the way down to season 3, and with every season I love this character more and more. In season 1, after finding out about Rex's immaturity, she leaves the teen team on a quest to become more independent and act more on her own moral compass and use the power in charitable ways. In season 2, she builds a much closer relationship with Mark and tries to help communities and rebuild lives, but sees that even with good intentions, they can backfire. This adds to her emotional maturity and depth. Season 3 is where Adam Eve really won me over because you see how good of a girlfriend she is compared to Amber. You see her powers evolve and grow in some scenes, almost disintegrating Conquest and turning into the damn Phoenix for a split second. Her powers are pretty damn cool and can manipulate matter on a molecular level, which essentially gives her god tier abilities. She can create, reshape, heal, destroy, and rebuild anything in her environment, including her own body. She's not just reduced into a simple love interest as well, and rather continues to grow on her own terms, whether it's family problems or how she can improve to save people. I'm putting her into S tier. Now we have Rexplode, and let's take a moment of silence for how this character was done dirty in season 3. Now this is like the Steve Harrington of the Invincible universe. Rex starts off in season 1 as this arrogant douchebag that talks a lot, is immature and annoying, but over the seasons, he has become one of the most beloved characters and his character arc started to unfold. This character is given so much depth, showing us how he's still a flawed guy that is trying his best. Even when there's a battle where he's outmatched and injured, he continues to fight and help others, such as getting his hand bitten off, or fighting in the Invincible War and sacrificing himself to save everyone. Rex actually owns up to his mistakes and admits to his immaturity and doesn't try to paint himself as a victim. You see Rex later in the show putting in work, training, building trust, taking hits for the team, and actually caring about missions. He's still loud, has a huge ego, and still says the wrong thing sometimes, but he becomes someone with heart. Someone who wants to protect people. Someone who wants to actually become a reliable teammate and friend. I also just love characters who have a loud mouth, and he kind of reminds me of Deadpool a bit, but in a good way. His character design is sick and is very memorable. His powers are pretty damn awesome too, since it's just exploding shit and a lot of it. And the voice actor just suits the character so well, and I can't think of any other way you could have made this character sound better.
Motherfucking what the fuck?
I'm putting Rexplode into A tier. Next up is Immortal. Now a lot of people despise this character, and I definitely see why, because there are a lot of negatives, but there is also some good. First of all, the concept of this character is a man who have lived for centuries, fought in countless wars, led generations of heroes, and quite literally witnessed the rise and fall of civilizations. Immortal was even Abraham Lincoln at one point, which is pretty insane to think about. Immortal's powers are pretty cool. He has crazy strength and can somewhat go head to head with some of the stronger characters in the series. He can live pretty much forever and has come back from some pretty serious injuries. He's basically a watered down Viltrumite. But the Immortal just doesn't get the spotlight he needs to be high up on the tier list. This character is not emotionally central to the story at all. He tends to show up, deliver a few lines, and then either fight or get taken out.
Where is Omni-Man? Where is he?
Now the other side of Immortal is pretty annoying. Like, I don't think he's ever won a fight in the entire show. He also talks bad about Invincible, but when Invincible does something, he just stands and watches. He's all bark, no bite, and gets put into his place most of the time. I'm putting Immortal into B tier. Now we have Robot/Rudy. At first, he seems like a cold, emotionless leader who focuses only on logic and strategy, but then we learn he's not really a robot. He's a smart guy with a weak, damaged body who's been stuck controlling robots from a tank his whole entire life. That completely changes how we see him, and to me, it was a huge shock. He also clones Rex's body to get a new one, wanting freedom and to feel human for the first time. When he finally transfers into his new body, he starts experiencing emotions and learning how to connect with people. His relationship with Monster Girl shows how much he wants a real connection and to grow as a person. Rudy isn't perfect. He makes mistakes, lies, and sometimes uses some questionable methods, but he's always learning and trying to do better. He struggles with what it truly means to be human and a hero, which makes him one of the more complex characters in the show. His unique story and growth give him a lot of depth. His intelligence and leadership skills also make him an important part of the team. I was actually surprised when he sided with Invincible rather than Cecil, because he has the same way of thinking, but he seems to be up to something, as he only did it because he may need help in the future for perhaps an evil plan. Overall, he's one of the more interesting characters in the show, so I'm putting him into A tier. Now we have Battle Beast. There's not really much to say about this character, as he hasn't really appeared much in the show, but when he does, it's just him being a straight menace. There's a reason why Omni-Man didn't want to help Mark fight against him. There isn't really much to his character besides wanting a worthy opponent to battle against, which he has yet to find, as he pretty much obliterates anyone he comes into contact with, but there's a reason I want to rank him. Although he's not a crazy good character and lacks any real narrative, he's just so damn entertaining to watch. He absolutely single-handedly destroyed Invincible and the Guardians of the Globe with no effort. We do see a bit more of him in season 3 helping Omni-Man break out of the Viltrumite prison, but it's just some more of him committing some violent acts. His character design is awesome and intimidating, his voice is menacing, and his strength is insane. I feel like with more time he can easily climb way higher on this list, but for now, he's going into B tier. Now we have Omni-Man, one of the best and most controversial in the show. At first, he seems like your standard Superman type hero.
Are you sure?
Strong, noble, a loving father, and Earth's greatest protector. But as the story unfolds, it becomes clear there's something much darker to this character. His brutal fight with the Guardians of the Globe is shocking, gory, and unforgettable, turning the tone of the show into a completely different direction. Like when I watched episode 1, I genuinely thought this was going to be a cute superhero kids show. What makes Omni-Man more than just a villain is the emotional complexity behind his actions. He isn't evil just for the sake of it. He's loyal to his mission, his people, and his beliefs, even when they conflict with everything he's built on Earth. His relationship with Mark is the emotional center of the series. The thing he says, the choices he makes, the pain he causes, all of it hits hard because you know there's a part of him that truly loves his son. The way this character bounces back from all the negative actions he did still surprises me and makes me want to almost forgive him. They did such a great job of making you now feel bad for him and attempting to redeem such a hated character in the show. Seeing Omni-Man try to own up to his mistakes and genuinely change makes you question if this is even the same character from season 1. Season 2 gave us some pretty insane scenes such as him going near a black hole and fighting with his son to save a bunch of bug people. His character goes through so much development over the 3 seasons, it makes me love Omni-Man more than I ever thought I would. He's going into easily S tier. Now we have Mark Grayson Invincible. Invincible has quickly made it into my top 10 favorite characters of all time and is just so iconic and made it very mainstream over the last couple of years. This character has lots of ups and downs though, making my opinion on him always different, but after season 3 he finally started becoming what I want him to be. In the beginning he's clumsy, overconfident, constantly getting his ass kicked. Early on he was barely surviving fights even with his Viltrumite strength. This rise to strength is what makes him so satisfying. You can see him evolving and learning throughout each season. Every time he loses, it makes him tougher. I also love how he's very defiant, but for good reason. He doesn't let others walk over him in control, whether that's Cecil trying to have ownership over him or his dad convincing him to conquer the world. Invincible still remains to stay to his roots and do what's best for others without giving up. Every time he fights with compassion because he believes in protecting people, even if it kills him. That mindset is what separates him from other Viltrumites. He chooses to be human. He chooses to care. Apart from his superhero side, he's also very cool without the suit on and gives you a sort of Peter Parker Spider-Man feel, with him being a struggling teenager trying to balance the duties and responsibilities of being a hero. He has good and balanced relationships with others such as his mom, Eve, and his best friend William that make him feel like a real person. His suit design too, whether it's the yellow and blue or the new black and blue suit, both pop on screen and give you a character you won't forget. Invincible provides a fresh new view on superhero media that's gone stale recently and doesn't disappoint at all. He's going into S tier. Now we have Angstrom Levy, a character who took his time to get started, but when he finally made his move, he proved he's not someone to mess with. Angstrom Levy isn't a strong fighter like Viltrumites, but what makes him dangerous is how smart and calculated he is. He can open portals to other dimensions and uses that power in some really scary ways. In season 2, he starts off kind of quiet, working in the background, learning everything he can. But then in the finale, he just snaps. He drags Mark through a bunch of different universes, each one worse than the last, totally beating him down mentally. And if that wasn't enough, he breaks Debbie's arm just to hurt Mark even more. That showed that Levy isn't just smart, he's cruel and personal with his attacks. Then in season 3, he takes things to another level by sending alternate versions of Invincible to fight Mark, causing chaos and destruction in a way no other villain has. Now I'll admit, his reasoning for turning evil, just getting revenge, feels a bit simple, and some people might think this story took a while to get going, but honestly, once he finally steps into the spotlight, he delivers. He's one of the few villains who really messes with Mark on every level, whether that's mind, body, and emotions. That's why Angstrom Levy earns a strong spot in A tier. Last but not least, we have Amber. Now this character is so good that I'm making her own separate tier. At the bottom of the tier list. This character is so bad, I don't even really want to talk about her. She's the worst girlfriend ever, and to be honest, I expect everyone to fast forward the video for this tier because who wants to hear about Amber? Sorry, not sorry. I'm putting Amber into Amber tier. So, that's the final tier list. Invincible has brought us some incredible characters and a few that probably should have stayed off screen. Whether it's the complexity of Omni-Man, or the growth of Mark, or the absolute disaster that is Amber, every character adds something insane to this universe. Is there any characters you agree or disagree with where they are ranked? The comments are wide open, let's hear it. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more fictional content. And as always, thanks for watching.
We're still on the same side. We're still trying to save lives. And we're still the good guys.